goblins, demons, ghosts, ghouls, and spooks alike. My name is Happy Black Legends, and this is Vlogoween. So it is really freaking hot, so my window is open, so if you hear, street noise, that is why. It is literally so hot, I want to scream. That's much cooler, by the way. That's been like sitting out for a little bit. So today I'm going to be answering your guys' questions. I asked you guys to ask me anything you wanted to know. It could be like horror or Halloween related or not. So the first question I got asked was top 3 movies. This is kind of a challenge for me, honestly. Ratatouille for sure is one of my all-time favorite movies. That movie is the whole reason why I decided to learn French, actually. I really freaking love that movie. I think it's just beautiful, and it represents and means so much to me. It really, truly does. Okay, Mulan, I guess. I was talking to my housemate about like VHS cassette tapes, and we were just like taking a trip down memory lane. Because I was born 99, but I remember growing up, like I don't remember life before DVDs, but I remember there still being VHS cassette tapes, in my household. And at one point we had one of those like VHS cassette tapes, like DVD player combos. Some of y'all that watch me might not even know what that is, and that's what kills me. Sure, Mulan is one of my favorite freaking movies. I absolutely adore that movie. Shang is my pansexual prince. I stan. I just absolutely love that movie. What's another top movie? I guess I'm gonna say The Royal Tenenbaums by Wes Anderson. I love that movie. Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't say this. Little Miss Sunshine. That movie is so underrated. It's really freaking good. I highly recommend. It's really emotional though, but it's really good. I highly would recommend it. So the next question is, what do you find attractive in a partner? Like, what do you look for in a partner? And this kind of made me laugh because, like, I have a type, but also not really. I guess the biggest thing is, like, politics, honestly. Because if your politics aren't aligned with mine, it's just not gonna work out. Like, I find that's like a deal breaker, honestly. Like, honestly, truth be told. Like, that is not, no. So, politics are extremely important to me. Other than that, like, I'm shy. Other than that, I don't really know. Like, I don't really look for anything in anyone. It's more of like, this is kind of why I'm pansexual, because I can't make up my damn mind. But it's more of just like, it's just like a vibe that people put out. Passion, anyone that's passionate about anything, like even if it's something I don't give a shit about. Like, I love talking to people who know what they're talking about, and they could talk about that thing for like hours. Conversations like that are always so much fun, and I love to learn, and it's really interesting, listening to people talk about things that they're passionate about. So, passion and politics, I guess, are the most important ones to me. Physically, I'm kind of open to most things, honestly. And that is what I'll say about that. What are your thoughts on TikTok? I wonder if by the time this is posted, TikTok will still be a thing. I don't know. I downloaded TikTok like maybe March this year for like a week. Not even a week, maybe like 2 or 3 days. And personally, I hated it. I thought it was very annoying to use. I didn't like the structure of the app. I didn't like a lot of the content that I saw. And I know that there are a lot of I've always loved cottagecore. Like, since I discovered that tag on Tumblr, I've always really been into it. I think it's just so pretty and cute. And I think it's fun to see like cottagecore videos. And there's like apparently like frog TikTok. So I think that kind of stuff is cool, but the majority of what, is presented to you at first is trash, honestly. And like, people were up in arms about the surveillance thing, and I was like, all of your apps do that to you, like, to some extent. And I know that people are saying, well, TikTok's worse, but I'm just kind of like, Like, I try to keep my location and microphone off on apps that don't need it, and like things like that, just because I'm very cautious and aware of the fact that most of our apps, like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, they're watching, they're listening. They know. What do they know? I don't know, but they know. So overall, though, my biggest issue with TikTok is I feel like it really glorifies mental illness, especially like for me as someone with an eating disorder. Some of the things I've seen on TikTok are extremely concerning, especially when you consider that most of the people that use TikTok are children. I've talked to parents before, and I'm like, honestly, if you're up for that like battle between your child, I would recommend banning TikTok or heavily, because the thing is, there's no filter system that I know of as of today, and it's just kind of a mess. And I personally don't find, like, most of the TikToks I see, I don't really find funny. It's like a very specific kind of TikTok. It's just not for me, honestly, and I don't know. What language do you think sounds the best? French. That is my honest answer, French. I want my goal for 2021, like my New Year's resolution. I'm already thinking about New Year's resolutions. Yes. My goal is probably to try to get more into Portuguese. That was terrible. But I really want to learn Brazilian Portuguese, not Portugal. I really want to learn Portuguese because I just think Brazilian like culture is so fascinating, and I think Brazilians have the funniest memes, and they're always like the funniest people online. And I want to know, like, I want to know the tea. I want to know what's happening. I want to know what's going on. So I really want to learn more about Brazil and Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese to be specific. But my favorite language of all time is definitely French. I just absolutely love it. I think it's so beautiful. My dream in life is really to live somewhere where I can speak French every day. That is my life goal. If you were Jigsaw from the Saw movies and had to set up a trap for someone you know and dislike, what would the trap be? Honestly, what was that? Honestly, I don't like those movies. Okay, I've never watched like the full thing. Like, I don't mind, like, gore doesn't bother me, but when it's just mindless and plotless, it's really hard for me to follow along. And again, like, oh my god, when I watched this, I don't even know if I was 10 years old. I don't even remember where I was. I think I was at someone's house or like the Boys and Girls Club. I wasn't home. I just remember thinking like if my mom knew I was watching this, she would kill me. And I just thought I thought it was boring, honestly. I don't even really remember I don't even remember which one I saw. I just remember really not enjoying that process or that movie. And honestly, I wouldn't do that. That's just not my thing. I can't, like, there's no one that I dislike enough to even do that to, and the people that I do dislike in my life, I had so much anger in my heart for so long, and eventually I just had to learn to let that shit go, like, for real. And it's really hard, and I still struggle. There's some days where I still struggle, but I don't know, like, I just don't think that's healthy, you know? I know that I'm getting all deep with this answer, but for real, when I saw this question, I was like, I don't really know what to say, because, like, I'm not creative enough to think of anything like that, number one. Like, that's just not where my talents lie. But number two, it's just not something I would do, honestly. You're iconic. Thanks. Is there anywhere else you want to live besides Cali? So, like I mentioned, my life dream is to live somewhere where French is like the main spoken language. So, it's always been a dream of mine to move to France. And everyone's always asking me, like, well, what do you want to do when you get out there? And I'm like, I don't know. I just want to get there. Like, I'll figure that out later. I know that's like really idealistic and like not realistic and probable. What's something you look forward to in the following year? So, 2021, I'll be 21. I'm actually turning 21 in a week. So by the time you watch this, I'll be a 21-year-old. I'll be of a legal age person thing. That is what I will be. That is the concept. That's the idea. So that's kind of crazy to think about. I am really looking forward to my YouTube channel growth. I started my YouTube channel right at the butt crack of 2019, towards the bitter end, And I had no expectations. I really didn't. I've wanted a YouTube channel for so long, and so when I finally just like went for it, I was like, okay, like we're just gonna do it. And so like each step has been like fascinating. Like I remember when I think that Charlie XCX like Forever reaction was my very first video ever to reach 1K views, and I remember finally getting 100 subscribers, and then I remember getting 500 subscribers, and then I remember getting 1K subscribers and going, whoa, like this is actually happening. And then I remember, you know, getting my first patron and, you know, being eligible for monetization, and it's been such a fun process. So I'm really looking forward to YouTube and just to building better and bigger content for you guys. But I'm really, really hoping that I'm at 10K subscribers by the end of 2021. And I think that's doable. I think. I don't know. We'll see. But 10K subs by the end of 2021, that would be super hot. That would be super sexy. So I got asked both of these questions quite a bit. Favorite Halloween movie and then favorite horror movie. I honestly, I don't know if I have a favorite horror movie. I really don't. Like, I love the genre of horror, but a lot of horror movies, I always end up feeling disappointed. Like, there's only a few that I've liked where the ending didn't make me feel some type of way. I don't know if I have a favorite horror movie. I really don't know if I have one. My favorite Halloween movie is definitely Coraline. And by the time you guys are seeing this, I should have already posted my Other Mother makeup look. So if you want to check that video out, be sure to do that. I'll put a thingy, or if not, the Vlogoween playlist is definitely linked in the description below. There's some sort of fruit fly up in this bitch. Are you into Studio Ghibli? Ghibli? Honestly, I've never said that out loud, so I don't know how to say that, sorry. Okay, I've seen, oh my god, I don't want to sound stupid, but I've seen some of them. I don't remember the names of them. Like, I remember Spirited Away. I think I've seen Spirited Away, and there's a few others. Those movies, they give me, like, they make me, like, motion sick. They just give me deja vu. They make me sleepy. They make me very, very sleepy. And, like, I don't remember which one this one was, but remember the one where her parents turned into pigs? That shit freaked, okay, there's a fly, and I'm gonna need you to get your life and collect it. That shit freaked me the fuck out. Like, I hated that. Like, bleh. I think the art and music is absolutely beautiful, but in terms of like being able to actually sit down and watch a lot of those movies, I usually can't get through them. I usually tune them out. You know, I just think they're really pretty. I think the artwork is pretty, but it's really not my thing, to be honest. I'm sorry. Favorite monsters? Oh my god. I'm not really a monster kind of chick. I don't know. Okay, this isn't technically a monster. She's a goddess. But Miss Eris from Sinbad, the animated movie, that was definitely a part of my gay awakening. I absolutely love her. I thought she was super rad and hot. So I guess she's my favorite, but she's not technically a monster, and I feel like that's really disrespectful to call her that. I think she'd be kind of pissed if I called her that. So, sorry, Eris, please don't do anything to me. What Disney villain would you want to be? I wouldn't want to be any of them. They all end up like in really shitty ass situations. I guess my favorite Disney villains are Cruella de Vil, Ursula, maybe. Yeah, those are probably my favorite Disney villains. Opinion on people who don't vote. Okay, so this is kind of, I get it. I get why you don't vote, because like it's, if you don't fully believe in someone, voting for them, that feels deceitful, that feels really wrong. So I get it. For me, not voting would be a huge slap in the face to my ancestors. That's how deep it is for me. That's how I feel about it. As a black woman, I think it's extremely important for me to exercise my right to vote, the right that people before me didn't have, even though they built this motherfucking country. So, yeah, I have a huge, like, issue for me. Like, it's really important for me to vote. But at the same time, I get why people don't vote. But if you're not going to vote, don't complain. That there's like two sides to it. If you're not going to exercise your right to use your voice, then don't use your voice in situations where it's like you didn't actually do anything to help the situation. So it's kind of like a catch-22. I know personally for me, I am not happy entering this election season, and this literally feels like 2016 all over again. So we'll see what happens. I mean, by the time you guys are watching this, you know, we won't know who wins either, but it'll be closer to election day. You can still register to vote in California 15 days before election day, and I have a link to register to vote in my description. So if you're not registered to vote, check that out. I would check your state laws to see what they say about how late you can register to vote, because like I said, by the time you guys are watching this, it will be pretty late to register, but in some states you still will be able to, one of those being California. So definitely check out your state laws and things like that, but that link will be included down below. Do you want children? Hell to the fuck to the no. Hell no, 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 no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would be a terrible mother. I would be a terrible mother. I would be a mess. I can't look after someone. No. And then, like, the idea of being pregnant, honestly, I've had literal nightmares where I'm pregnant. Like, nightmares. That whole scene is not for me. No offense to you if you're pregnant. Like, you're a strong-ass person. Go you. But that could not be me. I don't have the range. I do not have the range. Nothing will ever be exiting my body. Like, no human being should ever exit my body in any capacity. I am proudly on birth control. I'm more so on birth control, honestly, because my periods are really bad and I become, like, a psychotic, like, mentally unstable person around my period. So I was like, oh, you have, like, issues. You need to, like, curb yourself. So that's the main reason why I'm on birth control. And if I ever were to get pregnant, abortion. Like, no questions asked. I'm sorry that's, like, so abrupt, but that's honestly how I feel about it. I work very hard to make sure I can't become pregnant. But yeah, no. I always have considered, like, when I'm much, much older and maybe I have more patience for it, being like a foster parent or something. And if I were to have a kid, I definitely would want to adopt, or if my partner was able to carry and that's something that they would want to do, they can pursue that option gladly. Go you, but not me. Never, 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 no. Absolutely not. What would your ideal Halloween look like? Costume party, trick-or-treating, watching movies, haunted hayride, midnight ritual. So honestly, last year that was probably the best Halloween I had ever. I got together with a bunch of my friends and we went to a friend's house, had a little kickback party, and it was so much fun. We danced for like hours. I made a pumpkin bong. It was just tons of fun, and I really enjoyed my time out with my friends. Halloween is just a really fun, great time. And it was just really nice. And I'm a little sad that we can't recreate that this year, but I think this is still going to be a great Halloween. I'm really excited. I'm definitely in the Halloween spirit, and it's August right now, so I can't even imagine how annoying I'll be in October. But I'm definitely already feeling the Halloween vibes. I'm into it. I do have a video planned for things that you can do during quarantine, whatever you want to call it. So if you want to check that out, you can do so. But yeah, so, you know, that was a great Halloween. But my perfect Halloween, I do like to go trick-or-treating because I wasn't allowed to celebrate Halloween as a kid. So the very first time I went trick-or-treating, I think I was like 17. It was my senior year in high school. I was 17 and I had a blast. And then last year I went for the second time. And I plan on going for as long as I can until I look a little bit older. Most people assume that I'm a lot younger than I am, which is kind of crazy. Like, I've had people tell me that they think I'm like 15 or 16, which I don't think I look that young. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know, midnight rituals. I did the Ouija board once, and honestly, I really just didn't like it, and I don't really feel comfortable doing that again. I'll sit and watch other people do it, but I just really didn't enjoy that process. And then, that's like it. I really do want to do something like witchy and occulty this Halloween season, but I'm really not knowledgeable about stuff like that, so I want to make sure I'm with someone that knows what they're doing, because I think that's like dangerous and like disrespectful, you know what I mean? I have collected rainwater before. That's as like far as I've gone. I have kind of a funny story about that, but I'm saving that for another video actually. If you were a horror villain, what would you look like and what would you do to the main character? What's your power, backstory, and why? Holy shit. That's a really good question. If I was a horror villain, what would I do? I think I would try to take down, like, the evil people in the world that are harming millions of people. Like, I think I would try to take them down and get them to redistribute their wealth. I don't really know exactly what I would do. My superpower, I definitely want to fucking fly. That's really important to me. Other than that, I'm like, it's kind of funny because, like, I'm a creative person in some cases, but in other cases, I'm literally like Patrick with the freaking plank on his forehead. That's literally me. Like, I'm just not that creative to think of like a whole backstory or anything like that. But if I did develop superpowers right now, that is what I would personally go out and do. I would try to, I guess I would be, ugh, I hate this comparison because I honestly hate this person, but I guess I would try to be like a Batman-esque person. I freaking hate Batman. I think he's such a lame superhero. I don't like him. The only thing I like about Batman is the villains in his universe are top tier. Top tier. Are you kidding me? Like, every single villain, aesthetic, look, backstory, it's pretty much fire. What were some random things that scared you as a kid? I was scared of the Scooby-Doo theme song. So this is super kind of random and funny, and I don't really remember this too well. Like, I remember a little bit, but not like the multiple occasions that it happened. But when I was younger, was really scared of those mechanical singing fish. My brother's dad had one at his house, and he used to play it. And whenever they would just flop and start singing, I think I would start crying. I guess maybe as a kid I thought they were like real. I thought they were like ghosts. I don't really know. But I'm not scared of those now, like now at all. So I think it's such a random funny thing though. What's the last horror movie you watched? I don't know if this counts as a horror movie, but I guess Pan's Labyrinth, that's the last movie. First of all, I had no idea that that movie was in Spanish. Like, no one ever told me, and I loved that. I thought that was such a cool little, like, detail to the story, and I was really surprised that, like, I never knew that. Guillermo del Toro is honestly a genius in his own right. Like, I don't necessarily, like, love everything and, like, all of his tropes, but I think he's really cool, and I want to watch more of his films for sure. If I was the main girl, I don't even remember her name, but Little Miss Mama was doing, honestly, I wouldn't have gotten past that toad scene. That was literally the nastiest thing. Like, no, I don't like bugs. I don't like shit like that. No, I would not have gotten past the toad thing, so my life probably would have been sad and ruined. If you were to design the perfect horror game, what would you want it to be like? Also, your fave Halloween monster? I think that's what it says. Sorry, I can't even read my own damn handwriting. The perfect horror game? I don't really know. I definitely would want it to be, like, heavily themed. Like, maybe not modern. I think themes are just so much fucking fun. And I would want it to be something kind of like Emily's House. Is that what that game is called? Emily's Play? Because that game is, like, it's just so odd. And I like the fact that, like, you kind of can't protect yourself. It's just, like, in the open. Something like that where you kind of can't protect yourself, I think is really, really scary because you just feel so, like, violated and, like, vulnerable. So I think that's how I would want my horror game to be. I'm just not creative in this capacity, and I'm really not a gamer, but I do enjoy watching horror games. I used to really, really enjoy that. I used to watch Markiplier all the time. I can't stand him now, honestly. Like, he's so annoying. Like, all he does is yell, and, like, I was like watching him a few days ago and I was like, bro, how did I used to watch this like all the... I used to watch Markiplier like from the moment I would wake up to the moment I go to sleep. Like I would just watch all of his like horror games. And I'm like, bro, I did that. Like that's crazy. I mean, he's still hot. And, like, when he's talking, his voice is really hot. But, like, when he starts yelling, and I'm just like, bro, shut up. Like, please stop. Last time you went trick-or-treating, that was last year. I had fun. We didn't really go trick-or-treating, like, too many houses, honestly. But I still had fun. It was really nice. Someone was playing the Phantom of the Opera Overture, and that was really rad. Oh, it's gonna be bittersweet to not be able to go outside for Halloween this year, but I'll have many, many more Halloweens. Hopefully, if global warming doesn't take us out. My God. Have you ever seen a ghost or something paranormal? So, I don't know how to answer this question, but I want to make a video on this topic, so I'm not going to say too much. But I will say I have experienced things in my life that were kind of hard to explain or were really confusing. Yes, I will say I have experienced things like that. Favorite Halloween food. So I haven't had this in a while, and now I can't even eat this unless I find like a dairy-free alternative. But especially when I used to live in New York, oh my God, candy, caramel apples. Oh, those are so good. I used to really love Reese's candies. Those were like my favorite, like basic, you know, like candies. I'm very particular about my chocolate. Even while I was still eating dairy, I don't like most chocolate. I really don't like milk chocolate. Like Reese's I would eat because I really liked like the texture and the flavor, but that was really like the only milk chocolate that I would usually eat. I only really like dark chocolate, and I'm kind of not into a lot of those like sour hard candies. Like I used to eat a lot of candy as a kid, and then I think as I just got older I was kind of like over it. So like I like very particular, like I like gummy worms, I like fruity stuff like that. But yeah, what other stuff? Oh, pumpkin pie. I guess that's just like fall food, but I love me some pumpkin pie or some potato pie. I love it all. Yes, mama, yes. Halloween stories of yesteryear. So I can't remember. I know one time my mom put a Bible scripture on our door, and I can't remember what happened to our house, but something happened, and oh God. I used to go to Disneyland a lot around Halloween and on Halloween. That is my favorite time of the year to go to Disneyland because surprisingly, not a lot of people go around that time. So the wait lines, like whenever people complain about Disneyland wait times, I'm like, you clearly have never had a SoCal like pass. You know what I mean? I'm just like, you clearly have never been, like you've probably only been once or twice if you're saying that, because the truth of the matter is, if you go during non-peak times, like there have been days where I go on everything I want to go to like twice, maybe even 3 times. Oh, that was the last question. Oh my God, I was like, I thought I had more. Wow, that was a lot quicker than I thought. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's little Q&A. I hope you guys are enjoying Vlogoween thus far. Let me know down in the comments below which Vlogoween video has been your favorite and why. I would love to hear that. Let me know if you guys like to do more Q&As. I'm always down to do Q&As. I just don't like to do them like too often, you know. I think it's good to like space them out in between. But yeah, I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. And I hope you guys are being, you know, cautious of COVID. If it's still a thing, which I'm sure it will be, because stay safe, stay spooky. As always, a huge thank you to my patrons, a huge thank you to my subscribers, and thank you to you. Yes, you, even if you're not subscribed and you're just watching this video and this is your first video you stumbled upon on my channel. Thank you so much. It's really, really appreciated. I stopped fanning for like a second and I'm already starting to drip. As always, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I will see y'all in the next one. Alrighty, guys. This damn mother flippity flockin' fly got me fucked up. Bye.